Guys, I'm right here in Juncos' shop in Indianapolis. I have an IndyCar right next to me, and behind that, if you can see it, it's an Indy Lights car. We're gonna make the seats today. I cannot wait to get behind the wheel of the Indy Lights car, and hopefully if all goes well in the test on December 14th and 15th, we'll be moving up Indy Lights full-time season 2021. Follow my journey.
So I'm here with Alejandro Juncos. We're talking about the difference between the Indy Lights car and the IndyPro car. It was actually a new thing for me that the Indy Lights car is a 4-cylinder turbo car, 400 horsepower, 450 with the push to pass. Different tracks have different rules for the push to pass. Some, like you was telling me, they have bumps. You can just do like 15 bumps, and some have just certain time. You have how many seconds?
You have like, say 20 seconds, and then you use it at your own, but you have to be no less than a second a gap between the guy in front of you to use the push to pass.
A big difference with downforce level compared to the IndyPro car. This has way wider tires in the rear and the front.
What's the top speed difference between IndyPro and Indy Lights?
The IndyPro, I think we get like a 155, close to 160. And I know this one on the Freedom is 200, 205 I think it is. It's quite a bit.
The IndyPro car has 280 horsepower.
Yeah.
And it's almost double, not quite, but 450, that's a big difference.
What's the hardest thing for someone going from IndyPro to Indy Lights to get adjusted to?
It's gonna be a little bit more G feeling, because this car have a more downforce. And
adapting
also,
to trust the car.
Yes, you have to trust the car also, and then the turbo. You coming with an Asprey car with now a turbo motor that's a little different for sure. Learning when the turbo's kicking and how they kick and about the throttle, and that's probably a little bit. And then the speed and G is manageable for a pro driver.
And then what's a big difference between the Indy Lights and IndyCar? I mean, are they completely different?
It's almost double the power. Okay. Yeah.
Just 800 or more.
Yeah, I don't think they say exactly how much.
Yeah.
But those machines probably is close to 800 horse for sure. 7 something, I think. Yeah, they never tell you exactly around something. I know the IndyCar have way more downforce and powertrain and big tire, 2 different tires compound, so it's completely different animal for sure.
Tough for people to adjust from Indy Lights to IndyCar or racers?
I think the bigger is the car, more tools you have, more engineering and around you, and more technology make a little bit easy for a driver. So I don't think it's gonna feel too much. There is a difference in the cars, yes, for sure, but
you're also driving against more experienced drivers, so
right.
That's what makes it more difficult.
Yeah, but with all the numbers and data you can have on live with the IndyCar, that helps the drivers a lot. So probably in the end, like the game, we can talk about turbo kicking and G-force. Maybe it's a big deal, and obviously everything coming faster.
Yeah.
All the reference and breakpoints.
Yeah. Okay. So Indy Lights is
Four-cylinder
turbo, and then IndyCar is
V6 twin turbo.
Okay. And then you said the tires are wider on the IndyCar.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
What about the cockpit? How much different is that?
Cockpit is really similar. Actually, if you wanna test and you can put your Indy Light seat on the IndyCar and you probably can go around, no problem. Maybe it's not the right seat position, but you still feel comfortable there. Yeah.
Contact patch.
You want to say that again?
Huh? It's exactly 3 inches more of contact patch. The IndyPro car, the rear tire, it gets to here. So you have this much more contact patch. Obviously if it's flat.
Why are wider tires more important? What is the difference between having wider tires on a race car?
Well, it's not about it being more important. It's more about, it's a spec series, so it's what they use. But in general, yeah, wider tire has a bigger contact patch, which transfers onto being more grip on the car, a higher level of grip, right? If you have a thin tire, then obviously there's less of the tire touching the ground, so smaller contact patch. What I mean by contact patch, you see the width of the tire, but obviously not all of it is touching the ground at the same time, right? So it's always usually about this much. I can give you an explanation with a piece of tape. It's longer. So we have to take into account that this tire doesn't have weight on it, but this tire, this is what's touching right now. It's a used tire, so it's not wearing out the same, but this is the only amount that's touching the ground out of this huge tire. Only this is touching. Once you apply weight to it, yes, it would spread a little bit more. It might stretch from this much to probably about this much, and take into account that when a car is set up with alignment and you give it camber, the car's usually set up like this. So once you load the car into, let's say this is on the right front, you load it under making a left-hand turn, it loads the tire and it makes it use more of that contact patch. That's why the car's aligned with more camber. If you left it completely flat, that's when you start working the side wall of the tire, and it starts to work differently and doesn't use the inside of the tire. This is an Indy Lights car front tire, rain tire.
So we just got done with day 1 of the seat fitting process. We still have to come back tomorrow to get the fine prints and shave off a lot more, but the seat feels great so far. It feels like a glove. I'm really excited to drive, and I'm really hoping and looking forward to a 2021 season in this car.